I the asshole for giving my sister a dream experience and her friend thinks I stole it from her? This is from the Charlotte Dobre subreddit, and this is about friend feuds. Now, I'm sorry that this is long, but there's a huge story with this girl that I have to include, and I have permission from Wendy, my sister, to share this. I, 27 female, am best friends with my little sister, Wendy, 26 female. We call ourselves twins despite the age gap. We live together, travel together, go to concerts together, and generally enjoy each other's company. We've always been close, and we never argue. My boyfriend, 30 male, is currently working overseas, so Wendy and I spend a lot of time together. Wendy has a friend named Ariana, 26 female. They were friends in primary school, lost touch, and didn't become close again until Ariana was pregnant with her first child, Charlie, Wendy's godson. We all adore Charlie. However, over time, our friends and I noticed that Wendy and Ariana's friendship became oddly codependent and uncomfortable. My best friend Millie, who has known both Wendy and me since we were born, and said Ariana creeped her out while they did an event together as kids, as she seemed very clingy and creepy. Wendy has been struggling with depression and chronic health issues for 10 years and has been genuinely sad a lot. Millie worried that Ariana didn't even care about Wendy and just took advantage of her sadness so she could be close to her under the guise of being a supportive BFF. She once asked Wendy, "When you start a family and have a boyfriend, will she be happy for you and supportive?" And Wendy said no. I also spoke to Wendy about this. I've known Ariana since childhood, and from my perspective, she behaves as though there's a competition for Wendy's attention. Me versus her, which is just weird. I love Ariana and Charlie, but I'm not playing games here. My family is important to me, and I cherish them more than anything. Now, those concerns seem fair. Wendy has lost over 20 kilos. I've lost 40, and we're incredibly proud of ourselves. Since then, Ariana's behavior has become really strange. She compliments Wendy's appearance, then follows it with comments about wanting her perfect body back, or saying Wendy never had the ideal figure that Ariana once had and will get back soon. Wendy was really upset by this as it felt backhanded as hell. I was disgusted and had to calm her by telling her how proud I was of her. Ariana also treats my closeness with Wendy as a personal attack, often saying I'm ruining her Wendy time. Since the weight loss, Wendy has become happier, more confident, and more active in our friend group of old coworkers. I couldn't be prouder. However, Wendy was shocked when our other friend Melody told her she felt pushed aside because Wendy always prioritized Ariana and never made time for us. That conversation made Wendy realize the friendship wasn't working. Wendy decided to make room for other friendships as well as Ariana. Our friend group has loved seeing her thrive. Even her doctor pointed out how much happier she seems. Ariana, however, became increasingly possessive, getting upset when Wendy and I spent time together and contacting Wendy constantly. When Wendy explained she was trying to balance her friendships, Ariana cried and asked why it couldn't just be the two of them again. Like in high school, even though they were barely friends in high school. Wendy gently but firmly said that wasn't realistic. Ariana appeared to accept this, but continued acting as though the conversation never happened. One particular incident occurred when my partner experienced a severe mental health crisis and was hospitalized. Ariana became angry because she felt she should have been told first. I broke down in tears at work and cried to our mutual friend about it. Ariana took this as a personal attack because Wendy told her we were going through a lot and would be quiet for a while due to a family crisis. There are so many more stories I could tell, but I don't want to bore all of you. Now to the main problems. Over a year ago, before things deteriorated, I bought Wendy a very expensive experience she had dreamed about since we were kids. I was planning to be overseas at the time, so while chatting with Ariana, I casually said it could be something that she and Wendy did together. This was never a promise, mind you. I just assumed that would be the case because they were so close then. Later, plans changed. The experience ended up falling while I was home, as I had to reschedule my trip. Wendy asked when we were going right after opening the present, and I said I assumed she'd be taking Ariana since I'd be away. Wendy was horrified and said this was something she wanted to share with me, the person who paid for it, and had always talked about doing it with her. She said if it had fallen while I was away, she would have demanded the date be changed so I could go. This was like 5 months after the conversation I had with Ariana. So I forgot to say, oh, tell Ari this. Believe it or not, my life doesn't revolve around Ariana. We went together and had an incredible experience. Almost a year later, Ariana resurfaced this and claimed to Wendy that I had promised it to her and then taken it away, framing herself and Wendy as victims. She acted as if I'd personally lied to her and was manipulating both of them. Wendy didn't even know that original conversation had happened, and I had never promised anything. I didn't even remember the comment until it was brought up. That was the final straw. Realizing Ariana had been holding on to and rewriting this for nearly a year was just weird. Wendy is weirded out by this too, but I wonder if I'm in the wrong. I completely forgot I'd said anything, and it's so petty she's framing this thing I got for Wendy as something I planned just to get at her. Like, who has the time for that? But am I the asshole for this? No, ma'am, you are not. First off, yes, when you got the gift for your sister, she was still best friends with Ariana. You assumed they were going together. You mentioned it to her. But your sister, as soon as she opened up that gift, her question to you is, when are we going together? She even told you that if it had been while you were out of the country, she would have had you reset the date. She wanted to share this with you. So it doesn't matter. The gift was to her. Yes, you mentioned it to the previous best friend, but ultimately the gift was for your sister, Wendy. And it was for her to decide who she wanted with her. She wanted you. She wanted Sissy. Take that as a win. Ariana has a problem with that. Sucks to be Ariana. Not your problem. You're not the asshole. You didn't overreact. And I hope you and Wendy and your sisterdom and that closeness that you have, I hope that continues, because you know what? That is rare and rarer these days. And I love hearing stories like this. Wish you nothing but the best. Merry Christmas.